Look, let me ask you something quickly. Do you remember the last time you got a raise? You were excited. Maybe you thought, finally, I can breathe a little. And for a few weeks, it really felt that way. Then somehow nothing changed. You still check your banking app before buying anything. You still wait for payday. You still think, I make good money, so why do I feel poor? Yeah, this isn't a coincidence, because the uncomfortable truth is this: your salary wasn't designed to make you free, it was designed to keep you functioning. Without realizing it, most people follow the same modern script. You go to school, you get a job, you get paid every 2 weeks. At first, your expenses are low, so your paycheck feels powerful. But then life happens, and along the way, rent shows up, subscriptions show up, insurance shows up, and a normal lifestyle starts to lock in. Little by little, quietly, your paycheck and your bills begin walking in the same direction. Most people don't notice the shift because it happens slowly enough to feel normal, and that slow normality is exactly the trap. Now, let's talk numbers for a second. In the U.S., the median individual income is around $45,000 a year. After taxes, that's roughly $2,800 a month. Here's the scary part. According to Federal Reserve data, more than 60% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency without borrowing. Think about that. That means millions of people have a job, have a paycheck, and have stable income. Yet one flat tire, one medical bill, or one missed paycheck, and the whole system collapses. That's not bad money management, that's fragile by design. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, but a salary is still better than uncertainty, right? That's a fair thought, because your brain loves salaries for what they give you: predictability, routine, and psychological safety. But here's what most people miss. Predictability works both ways. If your income is predictable, companies can predict how much debt you can carry, how much rent you'll accept, and how much pain you'll tolerate in monthly payments. That's why everything is sold as a monthly number, not a price, not a total cost, just, can you do $399 a month? And while that feeling of safety relaxes you, something else is happening underneath. The more predictable you are inside the system, the easier you are to control. Because when everything becomes calculable, your freedom becomes calculable too. And that calculation usually reveals a much tighter space than you expected. On top of that, there's another uncomfortable truth. Every time your salary goes up, the world around you adjusts faster than you do. You get a 15% raise and it feels great, until suddenly you move to a nicer place, you upgrade your car, more expensive restaurants become normal, and better brands start to feel like the baseline. Psychologists call it lifestyle inflation, but I call it this: your salary trains you to need it. You don't feel richer, you feel more dependent. And the moment that income disappears, panic shows up, because you've forgotten who you are without that lifestyle. Now, some of you might say, but I make good money, this doesn't apply to me. Okay, let's test that. If you stopped working tomorrow, how long could you survive? 3 months? 6 months? A year? If your answer scares you, then your salary isn't income, it's life support. Notice the difference. Making good money and being free are not the same thing. One keeps you comfortable inside the system. The other makes you independent from it. And here's the part nobody wants to hear. Salaries were not designed to make you rich. They were designed to keep systems running, keep consumption steady, and keep people predictable. A salary makes you reliable. Reliable workers, reliable consumers, reliable debt payers. Freedom is unpredictable, and systems hate unpredictability. Think about it for a second. Why is everything planned monthly? Salary is monthly, rent is monthly, bills are monthly, subscriptions are monthly, loans are monthly. And when your life is locked into 30-day cycles, you stop thinking long-term. You stop asking, where do I want to be in 5 years? Because you're stuck asking, how do I survive this month? But the deepest trap isn't financial, it's mental. When your identity is tied to your paycheck, you tolerate jobs you hate, you delay decisions, you avoid risk, and you choose the safe option, not because you're lazy, but because your nervous system is protecting survival. Your brain says, this salary keeps me alive, so if I lose it, what happens? And that fear pins you in place. That's why people stay stuck even when they know something is wrong. They hate their jobs, but they stay. They know they deserve more, but they don't move, because the trap isn't just money, it's the feeling of safety. The part almost nobody sees is this: the goal isn't quitting your job tomorrow. The goal is stopping your salary from being the only engine. Because when income only comes from time, time becomes your enemy. Day after day, week after week, month after month, you trade your hours for your life, and that resource runs out. But knowledge, skill, and assets can multiply. So, let's get practical. 3 real steps, not motivational nonsense. First, create margin. Before investing, before a side hustle, create breathing room. If your income increases, freeze your lifestyle and let the gap widen. If you used to make $3,500 a month and spend $3,200, and then you get a raise and now you make $4,200, keep spending at $3,200. The difference is $1,000 a month. Freedom starts in the gap. Second, build income that isn't tied to time, slowly. Not get rich quick, not crypto miracles, but skills, assets, and leverage. Anything where you're not only paid for hours worked. That could be freelance work you learn once and sell repeatedly, digital products, online courses, affiliate income, rental income, dividend stocks, whatever fits you. Even $50 a month that isn't tied to your job changes the way you think, because now your salary isn't your only option. Third, stop buying identity. Cars, brands, status upgrades. Ask one question: does this increase my freedom or reduce it? Most reduce it. That latest phone reduces it. That premium car reduces it. That luxury vacation on credit card installments reduces it. Because they all do the same thing. They make you more dependent on your salary. Looking rich and being free are different things. One is for show. The other is for your life. And here's the final truth. A salary isn't evil and your job isn't the enemy, but if it's your only plan, then yes, it's a trap. Not because you're weak, but because the system rewards people who don't need permission to breathe. The moment you stop relying on a single paycheck, everything changes. You stop being afraid. You stop saying, what if I lose my job? And you start saying, even if I lose my job, I'll be okay. And that feeling, that's freedom. If this felt disturbingly true, that's not an accident. That's awareness. And awareness is always the first step out. So the question is, what will you do with that awareness?